If you can skewer it, it will sell. Dogs enjoy the ultimate in dinner. And secrets from a food stylist. For July 27, 2011, this is Food News Today. Good morning. Immediately following Food News Today, we continue with a live discussion in our chat room below. Today's broadcast is pre-recorded, but I am here live in the chat from New York City. Please sign in and join us. Food News Today is sponsored by Conagra Foods, who shares with me the desire to provide the most current, interesting, and unbiased food news. In Consumer Trends, we look at what might be the latest food service and retail food trend. It's called food on a stick. Making food exciting is something most restaurant chefs always try to achieve. But most of the time, it's sophisticated plating and interesting exotic taste, which are not that exciting for many people, especially kids. What is exciting for both kids and adults is actually food on a stick. There's something inherently entertaining, goofy, and fun about perching food on a stick. Now, this is not a new innovation, but rather a practice that was born out of necessity. Matt Armendariz, author of On a Stick, points out long before the invention of kitchen utensils, people were grilling over an open fire, using branches to warm and roast food. This cooking method appears in the writings of the ancient Greeks, and virtually all cultures since have offered their own version of food on a stick. Which fine foods are being served up on a stick? Well, try cheesecake dipped in chocolate, a deep-fried Snicker bar, marshmallows dipped in whatever you can think of, a banana on a stick, a chicken on a stick, lollipop wings, and the Japanese tradition of izakaya, meats that are skewered and grilled and served up on a stick. Shrimp on sugarcane sticks, and lemongrass beef lollipops, which lends an herbal citrus note to complement the beef. And then there's Z451, a restaurant in Chicago where Chef Patrick Quackenbush prepares boursin-stuffed fire-roasted peppers on a stick, goat cheese and bacon wrapped dates on a stick, and lobster tempura on a stick. In our marketing analysis segment today, we meet Marilinda Hodgson, a food stylist since 1978. Her iconic work can be seen in just about every advertising medium. At age 16, she was already the head cook at Mamma Mia's in Ocean City, New Jersey during her summers and weekends, and her love of food just kept on growing. So tell me, how did you get into the art of food styling?
Quite by accident. I was in graduate school doing my MFA in sculpture.
And what brought you to then food styling?
Well, I was putting myself through school on very short funds, and I was doing every kind of job imaginable to get me through. One was bartending, another was teaching at a continuing ed California, or a night school in California. And then I started renovating houses. And the first house I renovated was that of a food stylist, Justine Frank. And she loved my eye for detail and neatness and my personality, so she asked me to be her assistant.
Oh, that's a great story. Now, let me ask you about when it comes to the foods themselves. Do you think that one of the roles of a food stylist such as yourself is to get people to try more healthy foods as a result of, the look of them?
Well, I think that's an endeavor we all should take up. In my blog, of course, I do that very much so. And happy to say that in industry and advertising, many manufacturers have been taking up that sword as well in their products, and they're moving towards recipes and products that are much more healthy.
Let's change the focus to school nutrition. The lunches that kids are presented with, frankly, look totally unappealing. Do you think that if the lunches looked more appealing, that the kids would be more likely to eat their vegetables?
Well, wouldn't we all? I mean, that's really across the board with the human consciousness, is that we eat first with our eyes unless we don't have the gift of sight. And then it's smell and, all the other things that go along with food. And in advertising, in photography, we have only sight. So yes, of course, children would want to eat food more if it's beautiful, if it's more enticing. And you can make vegetables look beautiful if you don't overcook them. I mean, I make vegetables look beautiful all the time. Anything I make beautiful.
And how would you think that the school system, based on the people who work there, based on the kind of kitchens that they have, could they accomplish this?
Well, Jamie Oliver has done a long stint across the country, and we see much resistance to this. And that's a culturally based thing, and also it starts in the home, and there's finances involved, budget. So it's a slow process to go back to our basics of fresh, local, whole foods and reorient the American people to wanting that and being able to, wanting it for their kids, wanting it for themselves, wanting to be able to provide it and having the budgets to do so. So it's really a very complex issue.
Thanks, Marilinda. And you can check out her blog, foodfloozy.com, where she says she's a self-proclaimed food floozy who will style food for anybody for money. In food service trends, you may say that the hottest trend is going to the dogs, with the ultimate dog's dinner. Hotel Silver Service has fine food for pooches, as it seems like some ladies just can't leave their furry companions at home. And frankly, it probably came about even more as Paris Hilton and her dog traveled the social circles. Now for those ladies or socialites who lunch and bring their dogs along, you don't have to worry about what they're going to eat when visiting or dining at the Riverside Hotel in England. Doggies can dine too, and the hotel even has its own canine concierge. It's not the most adventurous of menus, yet the doggy diners keep coming back for more. The first course includes a choice of soup, chicken liver parfait, crepes, or homemade fish cakes. For the main course, it's ribeye steak, salmon Wellington, pizza, or pan-fried chicken supreme. If little Fido has room for more, well, desserts include carrot cake, rice pudding, and chocolate biscuits. Seriously. And there are even broccoli and carrot biscuits for vegetarians. I can only wonder what veterinarians might have to say about this. The $16 pre-fee meal is served in china bowls on a silver platter. Chef Rico Peck says that this gourmet menu is for dogs whose owners don't want their pooches to miss out while they enjoy his dishes such as deep-fried king prawn wrapped in phyllo pastry with a sweet chili dressing. And yes, there are picky eaters when it comes to dogs as well. Peck says, and I quote, "The big dogs will eat anything, but the smaller ones are very picky, especially when they're old." For Food News Today, I'm Phil Lempert. I'm here live in the chat and happy to discuss any of today's stories, even the doggy dinner story, and hear your comments as well. Thanks for joining us.